Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. This is Big Bozo. Today, we're going to be talking about this 2022 Triumph Tiger 660 Sport. Now, this is a buddy of mine's bike that he's letting me borrow before he sells it, because he is about to sell it. So he's just letting me borrow it so he can give it a rip and talk about it a little bit. So I'll try to go over the specs. For once, I actually wrote them down, so I'm a little more organized. Alright, so we have, obviously it's a 3-cylinder, 660cc. I'm a huge fan of the 3-cylinders. I think they're great. It's got a 6-speed transmission, 80 horsepower, 48 foot-pounds of torque. It is 455 pounds wet and ready to ride. It has a 32.9 inch seat height. And we'll talk about that when I get on the road. It has a claimed 52 mpg. It has a 4.5 gallon fuel tank. It has Showa suspension front and rear, but it's only preload adjustable on the rear. It has 10,000 mile service intervals, which is pretty good. You know, that's definitely not bad. Better than a dirt bike where you get like nothing almost. As far as modifications that are done to this motorcycle, he has put bar end weights on it because he thinks it was too vibey, which, you know, we'll see out there, and it is quite vibey. He had big foamy grips on there, but he took them off. He just liked these better. They were too thick for him, which I would agree with. I rode it with those thick grips, and it just felt weird in the hand. He has ASV levers on here. You know, I'm a huge fan of the ASV levers. I don't put anything on any of my bikes. Just that Amazon shit just does not cut it for me. He has a full Zard exhaust system, and it is not tuned. I don't know how that affects performance on this bike per se, but you know, keep that in mind. It doesn't have a baffle in it, so it is loud as hell. It has Michelin Road 5 tires on it. I have nothing to say about them. I don't have them on any of my bikes, but I hear they're really good. He also got the optional hard bags from Triumph, as well as the optional upshifter from Triumph. Now, just looking at this bike, I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, I have nothing negative to say about it, really. Maybe it's a hair too small. I don't know. I think it looks really good. Quite handsome, as they would say. Alright, so what we'll do is we will stop our jabbering and we will go check this puppy out on the road and see how she does. Give you my initial impressions, how I feel about it, and all that stuff. So, first thing we got to do is take down this camera. Alright, now I'm on the bike. I am 6 foot tall and a trim 255 pounds with a 32 inch inseam, and I can flat foot this bike very, very easily with some extra bend in my leg. With this seat height of 32.9 inches, it's probably too tall for some. I know it's too tall for my wife. She tried to sit on it, and it was too tall for her. So, we will see how it goes. Woo! Alright, let's get the show on the road. So where the exhaust is placed, every time I put my feet up, I can feel it on my right foot because it's so low and just barely off to the left there. So already right off the bat, I don't know if it's the quick shifter that's making it do this or it's just how the shifter always is. If you look, so usually when you're on a bike and you're in gear and you push down, it's just hard. so you know you're in gear. This one, you got some good play in there, and I do not like that at all. So I'm constantly checking if I'm in gear, and I can't really, you know, if it's definitely weird. See how loud this thing is? It's not even, we're not even going that fast. We're literally going 19 miles an hour and it's screaming. I don't know. I'm not young anymore. I'm just like an old dude. And I think it comes with age that the older you get, the more you appreciate quiet exhaust. Because I mean, you know, I still like a little bit of a rumble, but you know, this is just too much. Like I don't want people to be able to hear me coming from miles away. That's a little too much for me. All right, so brakes work pretty good. Front brake has a good initial bite to it. Look how loud. I can't even hear myself think when I'm rolling with that thing. Anyway, so I will also say you can definitely tell this bike is geared towards beginners. Because when you're on the throttle, like when you're leaving from a dead stop, you have to give it a ton of throttle to get the thing moving. Like it's not twitchy at all. It is extremely beginner friendly, and I'll try to highlight what I'm talking about here in a second because I'm about to stop. Nope, never mind. I got a green light, so I'm not about to stop. Clutch engagement feels very, very good. The pull is like right after the beginning of it, and I really, really appreciate that. I really don't like bikes where the clutch grab is, you know, like at the very end. It drives me nuts. This one is very good. All right, we're about to go on a, I would say, twisty section. And I guess for around where I live, it is a twisty section. But, you know, as far as out in the canyons, this is not twisty at all. But around here, it's all we got. So let's give it a shot. So with the suspension being only preload adjustable in the rear, I feel like the rear is fine because it's already adjusted to a bigger guy. But the front, I can tell you, is far too soft. Far too soft. So that's full throttle. With a claimed 80 horsepower, it just doesn't feel like it has that much. I don't know, maybe I'm not in the right RPMs. Maybe I need to get it higher in the RPM range to really feel the power, but where I was at right there, it just wasn't getting a whole lot. Obviously, you can see it just rained here not too long ago, so we'll be battling that a little bit. All right, a little bit of twisty right here. So let's talk about seating position. I'm super comfortable right now. There's this little hump right behind my butt that's like cradling me. It's beautiful. I really like. I could definitely ride this for a very extended period of time. Where my hands are is super comfortable. My feet are right under my butt, but not as bad as a KTM. They're a little further forward than a KTM, I'd say. But it's very comfortable, very comfortable. And there's an adjustable windshield. You just push it up, push it down, and super easy to use. I really like that. I am a windshield whore for sure. Coming around a little roundabout. especially for like for how fast it is. Like you know, 80-ish horsepower and 40 pounds of torque. Like, it's not an insane amount, but it'll definitely do the job. I mean, SV650s are fun. I feel like the threshold for fun, like real fun anyway, is like, obviously you can have fun for less than 70 horsepower, and any horsepower is fun. Two wheels is fun, but you know, I feel like the threshold for like having a daily is at least 70, and this has 80, and it's fine, but I feel like it's way too loud for how fast it is. Like, I'm gonna crank down on it, it's gonna get crazy loud, and I'm not really gonna like go, it's screaming, but I'm not doing a whole lot, you know. If my damn shield wasn't fogging up so much, that'd be great. I can definitely kind of see what he's talking about with it being pretty vibey. Man, I'm only going like 51 miles an hour. I'm, you know, 4,200 RPMs or so, and I feel it in my hands a little bit. We'll get it on the highway here in a minute and see how that feels. I just wish it wasn't so loud. I would definitely say that this is a beginner bike. A beginner to, you know, maybe someone who's a little more knowledgeable. Maybe like they had an RC 390 or a Duke 390 or a Ninja 300 or something along those lines and wanted to upgrade a little bit. They had a little more money and wanted to get something really nice, because I can tell you the fit and finish on this thing is absolutely amazing. Like, Triumph knows what they're doing, for sure. Triumph knows how to make a very, very nice motorcycle, and this bike is no exception. It's just a little less powered than, you know, some of the other options, and a little cheaper, which is good, because it makes it more accessible. Alright, come on. Let me come to a stop. Turn red. Come on! Really? It's like the first time I've ever caught that green light. Alright, even right here. So like, I'm probably 20% of the throttle right now, and it's not doing a whole lot. It doesn't really start to pull until you get at least 50%. I feel like you're just not getting anything until you're at 50% throttle. As you can probably tell, it's a little chilly out. My visor keeps fogging up, and that's never fun. I've always liked Triumphs. I had a Tiger 800 XC for a little while, and that was actually one of my favorite bikes. 94 horsepower. I ended up having to sell it, not to get something else, but just to pay off some bills. It was kind of a tough time at the moment. But God, I love that bike. Now, it made its horsepower like a sport bike, but it was an adventure bike, which kind of made it a pain in the ass off-road, if I'm being honest, just because the low-down torque wasn't there. But God, it was so much fun. You know, once you got it revved up, you were having a good time for sure. And then on the highway and long trips, it was a pleasure. And I'm sure this is no different. I'm sure a long trip on this would be great, especially with these bags. These bags are huge. I could store all my shiny things in there. All of my trinkets could fit in these bags. Not sure how partial I am to the dash. I am not a huge fan of digital dashes. I like analog, baby. I really wish I could catch a freaking red light at some point. That'd be wonderful. Analog analog for me on the dash, it would be awesome. I do appreciate the gear indicator, because I do love a gear indicator. So I don't know if you can tell, but we're going 55 miles an hour, and I can make out only shapes in the rear view mirror. Ooh, here we go. Yeah, see, that's just stabbed on the front brakes, and it's very soft front suspension. But, to be fair, I'm sure it wouldn't be so bad if I wasn't such a portly cat. Alright, so when we go right here, watch. Like, I am giving it some, and it is just, like, you have to turn it. You have to turn the throttle 20-30% just to go. Let's give it some beans. I mean, it's got power. It just takes forever to get there. Like, I feel like I'm in the same gear forever and not accomplishing as much as I'd like to accomplish. Knee dragging, I'm fast as fuck, boy! Ah! I'm not gonna lie, right now I'm just sticking my head way far off the bike. Yeah, because I'm not doing that shit on the street. Alright, let's give it some beans right here and see what's up. Same gear forever. Oh, I forgot to mention he has a +1 tooth in the front. That's probably why it doesn't feel very fast. That is definitely, I'm sure that's why it doesn't feel very quick. Oh God, okay, going 80 and 6,000 RPMs. I guess I haven't ridden a sport bike in a while. That is definitely the plus side of big displacement bikes I've noticed, is you don't have to rev as high on the highway when you're just cruising. Like right now at, 70 something miles an hour, 5,500 RPMs to 6,000 RPMs, it's screaming. I mean, especially with the Zard exhaust, it is very loud. And I think because of that exhaust, I don't think I can do a very long ride on this bike. It is quite vibey through my hands. Like, I can definitely feel the vibration in my hands. But honestly, it's that exhaust that would put me off of wanting to ride this for an extended period of time. I really enjoy these ASV levers. I highly recommend them. Like, if you're thinking about getting the Amazon stuff, just do yourself a favor and get this. This isn't bullshito. It isn't garbage. It's good stuff. And believe it or not, I'm not sponsored or anything. What? Come on. One of these days. On a personal note, this drives me nuts. For some weird reason, right here, everyone always does well under the speed limit for absolutely no reason. The brakes could be a little stronger. Come on, player, you can do it. Alright, now that we're going a little slower and you might be able to hear me, who do I think this bike is for? It's hard to say. I think it could go two ways. This bike could either be for an older gentleman who still likes to ride, doesn't want anything super powerful, but still wants something really, really nice. I think this would be great for that, obviously without super loud exhaust. Or it could be for, that, guy who just started riding, or gal, I'm not choosing sides here, that just started riding not too long ago, maybe had, you know, a smaller bike at first and then wanted to upgrade, I definitely don't think it's a very good idea to get like a tiny little bike and then immediately go to a friggin' 1,000 or 600 even, or something like that. But I also base what people should ride based on their skill level, and like I don't even need a, and when I say skill level, I more so mean skill level on track. So if I don't think that I could safely ride a bike around track and be comfortable with it and feel like I was pushing the bike at all, I don't think that bike's for me. So I think this would be great for somebody right after their first small bike to upgrade a little bit. Would I recommend this bike? Yeah, I think so. If you could get it for a good price, I would absolutely recommend this bike. It's a Triumph. Triumphs are absolutely wonderful. I never had a single issue with mine, and I seriously doubt if my buddy kept this one, he would have any issues. I love the 3-cylinder. The 3-cylinder in the 800 was amazing. However, that one had like a little whine to it. You know, when you were accelerating, it almost sounded like something like a supercharger. And for some reason, I love that. And I don't think this bike has that sound. If it does, maybe I just can't hear it because of the exhaust. But see what I'm talking about? Like, I have to go 30% before I get anything or can move. I would definitely have to tune this bike, and I would really try to get some of that throttle sloppiness out. And I'm sure they did that on purpose for beginner riders, because I mean, like watch how much it turns before it really even starts going. You gotta go quite a bit. It does feel pretty nimble. I have noticed that it is very, very well balanced when I come to a stop. It's not like drooping over or trying to be sloppy. It's very well composed. It tracks just fine. Holds the line okay. I mean, other than I feel like it wanted to stand itself up. I had to do a little bit of work. Other than that, it's cool. I really enjoy the color on this bike too. This gray is very pretty. I just wish it had something else that would make it like stand out a little bit more. Maybe a different color in there somewhere, red or something. You know, a Triumph. Maybe the Triumph logo could be a different color or something like that. Just something to make it pop a little bit. All right, I think this is where I will have to bid you adieu. Adieu. And say, smell you later, shoe tube. What the fuck, bro? I wasn't even messing with that guy. He was having a good time. Did you see that shit?